No earthquake this morning, that was just me. Soup for breakfast. The soup of the day is glue soup. Glue soup. There's only one flavor in the Mokuhankan cafe here. Glue. You can have your glue weak or you can have your glue strong, but you're going to get glue. Where's my brush? Which brush do I need? Always, always, always forget to soften this up. You float there for a minute or two. Okay, good morning, gang. The paper today is for 3 jobs. The paper is all today, just cut it in half just before we came on board. It's this dimension. It's the sheet that's called sometimes masaban or nishikiban. It's a little bit wrong because it's this size that is really the print size called nishikiban. It's the great wave size or the Utamaro beauties and things like that. I would love to be sizing this in one piece. If I have a single sheet like this, it should be sized in one piece. But as we've mentioned before, I don't have a good brush that will fit. I've got a weak brush, it's too small and it just barely fits. And we've got another brush Aoyama-san made, which actually does fit, but unfortunately the brush itself, the 2 parts were not good enough. And it's terrible to use. So that was a failed experiment. Not the idea of putting them together, but the particular brush we had available to us was terrible. It's on our list of things to do, and we get time to do it, to try and make some bigger brushes. But for now, what we got to do is cut it in half first and size it. And there's 4 woodblock, bunch of prints. What will happen here? 20 sheets of this are going to go to Kubota-san. He's going to print the next in our Mystique series of reprints. The print set that I made years ago, the Mystique of the Japanese print, it's now coming out in the Mokuhankan edition. And the 2 guys, Kubota-san and Yamoto-kun, are printing it. And the next batch goes to Kubota-san. So what will happen is this will be cut in half. This will be cut in half yet again, and the double prints will be printed on it. Then also on this batch of prints, we're running out again of another one of our prints in our shop, the print that's called Winter Landscape by Hokusai. And we're going to send this out to Kanai-san, who was one of the girls who got pregnant a couple of years ago. And she's working at home. She's with her mother. She's at her mother's place right now. She's got a little printing bench set up there, and she needs casual, easy work to do. She can't do such stuff like complicated heroes prints with 20 colors and 100 copies, but she can do small work like that. And that doesn't fit this paper, so what will happen is that print will come out of here. She'll get 2 copies out of each sheet here, and then the leftover strip will be 3 postcard size prints from our collection downstairs. So that's my job today. It's all the same sheet of paper. There's 35 sheets cut in half to make 70 sheets. So I'll first do the 70 on the front side, then I'll flip them over and do 70 on the back side. So it's not going to be very interesting today. Get my brush warmed up here. And also, perhaps, can you see something? So I think I can turn this thing. Hang on a sec. One sizing fits all. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, it's Mulberry. Mulberry fiber. We're running out of places to store things. So Aoyama-san put an extra support here. And we have at the top there 1 million kilograms, not 1 million kilograms. We bought 80 kilograms of mulberry fiber. It just goes on and on and on. I tell you, it smells too. It's not like a bad smell, but it's a grass smell. And I'm a little worried. I know some of the staff here, Kawai-san specifically, he has hay fever pretty strongly. And maybe, also known as kindling, it's dry stuff. Nee? So it's not actually touching that light there. Relax. There's a big gap. There's a big gap between the light and the kindling. So what are you gonna do? You know, we can't keep it up. We can't keep it up on the roof in the rain. It's got to stay totally dry. And this is the best place for it. Up in the ceiling area, we're gonna have a little. Once we get a damp weather coming up, we're gonna have a little. We've got a box fan already. All we have is prepared a little box fan, and we're gonna just run air continuously over it 24 hours a day. And we've already sent some. We received for the first batch 80 kilograms. And we sent 7 kilograms already to Sawaki-san, our paper maker, for testing. It was expensive. Per kilo, we got 80 kilograms there, and per kilograms we pay 8,570 yen, plus tax, plus shipping. So 8,570 yen, what's that? That's about 80 bucks, I guess, per kilogram. And we've got 80 kilograms. All right, I think my brush is ready. The thing is ready. Temperature check. Bit low, 50. I think I'll put up to 60 here. Kindling, yeah. This paper's fairly thin. It's thinner than the Takenaka type we have. So I've got to be careful not to get too much liquid on here. $80 per kilogram and 80 kilograms, and more on the way. You've seen it before, I guess. I don't know. They're about, 900 millimeters long. And what they are is, the plant just grows as a sort of a thin stick with little branches that come off it during the year. They trim off the incipient branches, so it just grows basically as a stick out of the ground. It's cut down in late November, December, depending on the weather and stuff like that, after it stopped growing. After it stopped, leafing for the winter. And at that point, once they cut it down, it's a long, thin strip, and they cut it in lengths about this length. Maybe they get 2 lengths out of a typical bush, tree, whatever they're called. One is about this length, and one is shorter. And at that point, it looks like just a stick. It's got a brown outer bark. And what they do is they put them all in a giant tub, steam it with boiling water. So boiling water steam pours up through it to soften it up. Then you get your hand with a glove, you twist it and pull the bark off, and the inner stick, the actual stick of wood, is then tossed aside, and what's left then is this white inner bark with a darker outer bark on top of it. Then they either dry that or they move right ahead to the next step, and they scrape off with a knife the outer darker part, leaving just the inner part. This is all curled up, but at that point it's flat and soft. They scrape off the outer bark, and then that's it. You can see actually where this was sort of tied and hung up in bunches to dry. And it looks like a hard thing, but what happens when you boil it in an alkali solution and hammer it and pound it, it totally separates into those tiny little fibers, about maybe a centimeter or so long. Those are the mulberry fibers that form the map of our paper. And this will sit here and survive here for ages. It's extremely on a long-lasting, durable stuff at this point. It's dried, so nothing's going to happen to this at this point, as long as we don't let it get damp. If we let it get damp, mold can grow in there, and that's it. It's game over. Okay, I gotta get to this because this is gonna take me a while. Camera, I might be bumping the camera. I'll try and try not to. This is my favorite brush, this one. So, here we go. 35 sheets cut in half for 70, both sides, 140 passes. Let's go. Counting? That was 140, 139 left to go. Yeah, sizing sessions are slow and boring, but at least you don't have to worry about your headphones. Good question. How many sheets of paper can be had from 1 kilogram? This is new, and I don't know the answer to that. I can guesstimate here. It's going to. We were chatting with Sawaki-san about this. How much do we need to buy for a year's supply and stuff like that. And the thing that makes it not a single answer is this: is that the sheets of paper, for example, we ourselves use 3 different dimensions of paper. We've got the Nishikiban dimension you see me working on now. Then we've got what's called Obiru-bosho, and we use Takenaga. There's a bunch of different dimensions. And we order the paper in different thicknesses. This one's quite thin, actually. This is going to make mostly ukiyo-e prints, so it's quite thin. The ones we're using for our Loot series this year are quite thick to give a good rich embossing. And there's going to be twice as much mulberry fiber in a thick sheet, easily twice as much as there is in the thin sheet. So single answer, how many sheets of paper from 1 kilogram of mulberry isn't an answerable question. For us, we've tried to figure out, and we're trying to learn, how many kilograms of mulberry do we need in a year for the kind of production we're doing. And I can't definitely answer it yet, but it looks like we might be looking at about 250 to 300 kilograms per year at our current production. So this first experiment for us is perhaps a quarter of a yearly supply of this mulberry. But again, I'm just guesstimating there because I don't have enough experience yet. This is all new to me. Before this stuff arrived last week, I had seen individual pieces of mulberry, like the one I just showed you, but I'd never seen it in bulk before. What I've done with the microphone, I've kept it. Before, the microphone was sitting right next to the water heater here. Today the microphone is up there. I'll move my picture here so you can see it just a sec. The mic is right there. So hopefully the microphone is a little bit away from the noises of the water heater today. Do I do workshops in schools? No. Just busy with production. Just produce. We hear lots from teachers and stuff, people that are in the shop, they're watching the YouTube videos and using our stuff, and lots of our materials are being used in schools, absolutely. And we've had, you know, the ebook that I've got, Your First Print, how to do that. We know that that's being used in a bunch of schools because I can see the download records. We'll get, for example, somebody will buy the ebook, and then within the next few hours there'll be like 45 downloads from the same group of IP addresses. So it's a class situation or something. Probably not actually cool, but whatever. Fly with it. Who cares? It's just the bits and bytes. Well, someone's asking about the favorite part. No, I can't say that honestly. It's all the same. Planning the thing, drawing the design, sketching, tracing, carving, printing, doing the color separations. There's enough challenge in all of it to keep it all interesting. So just the easy, simple answer is whatever I'm doing today, that's the most fun part. I don't know. I have no specific answer for that. We've touched on this before. Any guy in any professional job, you can't have what you call konomi, your personal choices and preferences. Otherwise, you don't do the work well. Whatever job you're doing, you might have parts. If you let yourself think, I like this part or I don't like that part, that's going to affect the performance. It was fun last night. I was working yesterday evening just at the computer downstairs. And the soccer game, the first soccer game for Japan in the World Cup started last night at 9 o'clock our time, 9 in the evening our time, which is absolutely the perfect time for it, of course. Start at 9, finish by 11, everybody can go to bed, they can still get to work in the morning. And it was the bars, of course, the bars around here all set up, TV screens and stuff and everything else. And I don't have a TV here, but I could tell how the game was progressing by the sounds coming in from outside. I was kind of surprised. I knew the game was starting at around 9 o'clock. I'm just doing my work at around 9, and from outside about 5 minutes later or something, there's a stupendous, like, is there an earthquake happening or what's going on? There's just this huge roar from outside about 5 minutes into the game. And I'm like, what's going on? I gotta look at this. So I find a text stream that's gonna do a play-by-play of the game that I could put on the screen while I was working. And yeah, there was a goal for Japan just 5 minutes into the game. They're 5 minutes into their World Cup appearance. And as the game went on, the sounds from outside, people just went nuts. Nobody expected to win. the Japanese soccer fans recognize that Japan is not exactly a world power in soccer, although they're really proud of the progress the team has made, coming from basically zero a decade or so ago. I was also curious about that red card situation. I'm not knowledgeable about soccer, football, whatever the game. It seemed to me that that was a bit of a strange, it's a double, kind of a double jeopardy, right? The guy did something wrong, hit it with his hand, so they throw him out of the game. That's a penalty. You know, I mean, it's a punishment for what you did wrong. But then they also punish the whole team by doing that penalty thing. So you sort of punish twice for that. I don't quite get that. You know, I don't get the nuance at all. I don't follow soccer, so I don't know the nuances. But just as an outsider observing that, it seemed really like double punishment for one crime. Oh, questions. Does the paper have a front side and back side? Yes, absolutely. Both sides, you can print on both sides because the paper structurally is the same. But there's a different feel to the front side. It slightly feels smoother because when they're after they finish rocking the paper, they press it on the post, they peel it off, and they put it on a surface for drying. Either a wooden board that goes out in the sun or a metal plate that's heated to drive off the water. So the surface of the paper, the surface of the paper that goes onto the drying board becomes the front surface of the paper because it's a bit smoother. But actually, structurally, we could print either way around. And sometimes what we do is, the paper I send to Kubota-san for the heroes, I won't do it with this one because it's thin, but the paper I send for the heroes, we lightly press it first here to reduce some of the roughness on the surface. And he can no longer tell which is the front and back. But it doesn't matter. If we print on the back side by mistake or by design, the finished print is just as good. It doesn't matter. There's no structural difference. Whoa, chatting. Earthquakes you're talking about? There was a big earthquake, was it yesterday, 2 days ago, in Osaka? Quite dramatic. A few people died, one young girl, sadly. Just a kind of accident, can't be helped, can't be predicted. A block wall that was getting a little bit old, that had been there for many years. A block wall just didn't quite have enough strength and fell over just at the wrong time when a little girl was on the way to school. So a little 9-year-old girl got killed by that earthquake. It's sad, but there's really no way to avoid all possible. The fact that a massive earthquake, what was it, 6 or something on the Richter scale, hit a major city and only 3 people died is, I think, a pretty good testament to the infrastructure of Japan. Well, it doesn't help that young girl's family, obviously. When I was living in Canada, I had nothing like this. The only paper I was using, remember, I wasn't making production prints. I wasn't making batches of 100 or 200 or whatever. I was just doing experiments in printing back in Canada. So just whatever scraps of paper I could find or use. I tried using Western paper, tried using watercolor papers. I brought a few sheets of paper back from Japan when we came here on a vacation. So I wasn't doing sizing because I wasn't doing production work. Whatever printmaking I did back in Canada was like 1 or 2 sheets, then try again and do another 1 or 2 sheets. In retrospect, actually, it was a very silly way to work because you can't make just 1 or 2 good woodblock prints. You have to get running and charged up and go, 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 and make at least 10, 15, 20 or so. But I didn't know. Wait till Dave finds out about the offside rule. Well, I don't know anything about offside in soccer. I grew up playing hockey myself, and we had very strict offside rules in hockey. We had like a part of it. I mean, whatever. Hockey has strict, extremely strict offside rules. Is the one in soccer anything similar to that? I was a hockey fan when I was a little kid. And when we came to Canada in 1957, within months, I had my gear. I had my helmet and shoulder pads and skates and bing, 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 bing. Little tiny midget. Nothing in leagues or anything, just in the local rink. That would have gone on until I was about 12 or so before I got busy with other stuff, and that was that. And for us as kids, Saturday night was hockey night. The TV went on, and we watched the games from Toronto or Montreal. And I was a fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs. My hero was number 27, Frank Mahovlich. He must be long gone now, I guess. That was my sweater number on the back of my little kid's sweater. 27, Toronto Maple Leafs. But no, I was just a skinny little run. Nothing, no specific sports. It's offside if there is less than a goaltender and 1 defender between me and the goal when the pass to me originates. I don't get that. I have to think about it. But they're moving around so quickly, how can you possibly see that? The pass is originating back there. Whatever, I guess an offside rule in most sports, the idea would be obviously to stop the situation where a bunch of people will run forward and cluster near the goal, and then somebody way back fires the ball up into there. It doesn't make any sense. The game would be no fun if that's all it was. But then NHL eliminated the offside pass. What do you mean offside pass? There's a blue line, right? And the puck has to be the first thing to cross it. Isn't that just what an offside rule means? The first, when you're attacking, the puck has to be the first thing that crosses that line. A 2-line pass. No, you're off my head now. I don't know anything about that. I'm sorry. Remember, I haven't actively followed hockey or anything since I was a little kid. So, the 2-line pass. New recruits, nothing. There's no structure for that here. We just try and, you know. I have no answer. We tried a few years ago. We started a whole batch of people all at the same time. That was 5 or 6 years ago. And some of them are still working with us. And really, I should be now actively trying to recruit, trying to train more printers. Our real trouble is that it takes such huge resources, and it's so wasteful at first, training new printers. We just don't have the resources ourselves to do that. But if we don't, we're in trouble down the line, of course. Rachel might be here this morning. She's on the Wednesday crew. I don't know if she'll be coming early or not. That depends on the train setup. She might be here early. I don't know. Her name in Japanese is characters that, when pronounced, come up 2 syllables. Dei, 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 in Japanese. So if you were translating that into English or transliterating it, it would be R-E-I. But for her own convenience, when she's talking in English and for her English school friends and stuff, rather than ask them to spell it R-E-I, she just asks them to spell it the common English way, R-A-Y. But her legal name is R-E-I, if it was in phonetic in English letters. No, I don't have anything else in USA but McLean's, that's all. Maybe other people on the stream here can answer that one, I don't know. There's a company here in Japan that ships overseas, wood like Matsumura. He ships all around the world. Today there's only 2 parties scheduled, and we have the super efficient crew. The 3 girls are in, Shiba-san, Audrey, and Dave. So they're going to do all the parties today, and I'm heading downstairs. I was there downstairs all of yesterday, and it was the job I did yesterday. It doesn't actually show in the building here, but I totally rebuilt all the Ethernet cabling in our building yesterday. I ripped up the tatami mats, ripped up the floorboards underneath the tatami mats, drilled holes in the walls, took out the back wall of cupboards, put Ethernet wires through. We've given up on Wi-Fi. I'm wired here. We don't even basically use Wi-Fi anymore because we've had so much trouble with it. And we don't know, but we suspect what's been happening actually is the restaurant next door. The kitchen, their big kitchen abuts our wall, and we think it might be microwave ranges. We don't know. This is anecdotal thought rather than evidential. But they have a bunch of strong microwave ovens there, and we've been having endless trouble with Wi-Fi. It's there and it's not there, it's weak and it's strong, it's all over the place. So we basically now, we've wired the whole place. I'm wired in now as I sit here talking to you. And I ran 2 category 6A cables down to the first floor, inside the walls. I just ripped out wall panels and put them down. So the first floor is now wired. The only thing we'll be using Wi-Fi for is customer access Wi-Fi. And the iPads we use don't have cables, of course, so they have to go through Wi-Fi. But the rest of us now are just going to be wired. It's just so much more efficient. And you know the kind of speeds we've been getting. I know I won't pop it up again. People have been giving me a bit too much feedback on that, so I'll keep quiet. But those of you who are here know what kind of speeds we've been getting. No, I'm not going to do it. We're running 6A now, category 6A, if it makes any difference. I'm not that much of a guru on this. I did a bunch of reading the last couple of weeks to try and figure out. The guy at the cable shop, I went there to Akihabara yesterday morning, he tried to put me on some 7, but I don't think category 7 seems to make much sense yet. I don't know. Based on the numbers we've been getting the last few days and the last few weeks, I'm in no hurry to change things. I'm not sure we're talking about HTTPS. Our website's Mokuhankan has switched over to HTTPS. Woodblock.com has not yet. It's on my list of things to do soon. While we dry this paper, I'll hang it up in the next room. There might be time to do it on stream today, probably with the number of sheets we've got, so there won't be time. But what I'll be doing is after I'm done here, after I've done the first stop, the first side and the second side, I'll let the paper settle for half an hour or so, depending on the weather. And then we'll hang it up. I've just got paper clips, or not paper clips, I know, clothespins. We hang it up from strings we've got along the roof in the next room. A bit too windy here. Close the window. We were closed yesterday, Tuesday, but we've learned, of course, that a lot of people don't know that we're closed on Tuesdays. So I was sitting there at one point. I had the tatami all lifted up. I had the floorboards ripped up. Dust. The place where the rat's nest used to be in the party room. And I had forgotten to lock the front door down the street. We're going up and down, up and down, up and down into the first floor and second floor. And ping pong, people come up the stairs. I've got people from, where was that first couple from Australia? And I got dust all over me, but whatever, they're here, and they've been watching YouTube, and they're glad to be here, and can we take a picture? So they got a picture of Dave with plaster dust all over him. And, people don't know about Tuesdays being closed, and we can't help it. We're looking forward for a situation where if we can finally get more staff, as we get more staff on board, we won't have a closing day, because it's not fair to people. In a local shopping environment, people in Japan will understand a shop has a closing day. But when you're an international shop like ours, and people are coming from overseas on any given random day, the days of the week don't matter to people who are on vacation. There's no weekdays and work days for them. So really, we shouldn't be closed. So I get it. And while they were here, somebody else came up the stairs, and one thing led to another, and that was it. I lost about 3 hours working time. But whatever. So the Tuesday sales were actually okay. They're very pleasant people. It's common sense. You know, people come all this way to see us. You can't say, I'm sorry, I'm closed, go away. Can't do that. So we went to see Mokuhankan. We went to see David. There was only this tramp, I guess. So it was just this dude doing this, yeah. Messy hair, plaster dust, and beaten up jeans, even more than my normal beaten up jeans. What I should have done was at that point I was trying to run a cable from underneath the party room floor down to the first floor closet. And I'd feed a bit, run downstairs, pull a bit, come upstairs, feed a bit, run downstairs, pull a bit. And I should have just told the guy, okay, here, look, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go down there. He probably would have said, okay. I hear faintly in the background the bell just rang down there. I can hear it. Maybe I don't know if you heard it or not too. The bell is in the back room of the second floor. We're up on the third floor. The bell just rang, and it was either Cameron coming in or, of course, Daychan, one of the two. Who knows? Well, it's okay insisting on helping, but remember, it was pretty dirty. The job I needed was someone to go in the closet downstairs, which hasn't been cleaned for like 95 years. It's where the gas meters are. So there's a closet full of dust and crap. To sit there and stretch up and reach a cable and pull it bit by bit while I yell from upstairs, bit more, bit more. You can't really ask somebody on vacation with nice clothes to start doing that kind of stuff. It is Cameron's time. I thought it might be a daytime. I wasn't sure. So. Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning. Don't say hello. Very quiet stream going on this morning. Quiet from my end, whatever.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game last night?
Can I get myself in trouble?
No, I don't care.
What game?
Okay, be careful when you're speaking to that. It was the first game of the World Cup last night, Japan's first game. And historic moment, they won.
They won?
It's the first time ever they have won a game in Europe.
Wow.
On European soil, and it's the first time ever they have beaten one of the South American teams, ever.
Cool. Did they play?
Colombia.
Colombia.
Yeah. Hey, football, okay, I get it. No, I'm not knowledgeable about it at all, but every 4 years it comes around. And,
Yeah.
the reason I'd forgotten it was on last night. I was in my room there downstairs on the back of the second floor, catching up with paperwork here.
Yeah.
And about 9:05, the world outside went insane. I just saw it. Like, shit, earthquake. It was Osaka in the morning. I thought that must be it. So people yelling and screaming. I didn't feel anything. And then I realized, Osaka, it's the game. Well, why would they be shouting and screaming just for the start of the game? This was 9:05.
Yeah.
And it was the first goal. At 9:05, they got the first strike. Asakusa went absolutely nuts. Because every bar in the whole area here.
Yeah,
of course,
everyone's watching
they've
it.
got
Yeah.
these screens put up and everybody's watching.
So funny.
And a game that goes from 9 in the evening to 11 in the evening, it's perfect. I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably 2 o'clock in the morning for somebody in America. I don't know.
Right.
It was great. Fabulous.
Morning, everyone.
It's a straight, single size, single dimension. Also, did you see the...
Yes. Yeah.
did you smell it as you came upstairs? I don't know
Yeah.
if that's going to be a problem or not.
Yeah. Is it the dose that smell or is it?
No,
this?
it's grass. It's grass. That is going to be with us now for a while. Basically forever, actually.
Basically forever. Oh,
So-
good. And especially on humid days like this.
Well, we're going to get a fan, of course, because what it must be is kept dry. And we're trying to balance, we have nowhere else to keep it other than outside.
The roof, yeah.
The
But
roof,
it's rainy
which-
season.
so,
It's not going to do
which
any
means
good at all.
we would have to build a storage device for
Yeah.
it. And what we don't know yet is how the inflow-outflow is going to run. It's really going to be tough. And we've got this 80 kilograms.
Mhm.
I've already sent 7 kilograms down to Sawaki-san. He's then going to give me the scoop. Okay, I'll need 20 more kilograms by July 17th or whatever, stuff
Yeah.
like this.
That
So
was
we-
just a small test batch, right?
So we'll need some kind of inflow, outflow, you know, first in, first out system.
Right.
At
Right
the
now it's
moment,
all
it's
the
all a
same
set
batch.
So we're gonna have to go upstairs,
Yeah.
build some kind of monology or something, where we go in at one end and go out the other
Mm.
end or something.
How much more are you
We
expecting
don't
to
know.
have at a time?
At the moment, I haven't placed the next order, but we've promised the people that we will do this again next year and help support their work, so. But because this was sort of dicey, you know, it hasn't been approved, we haven't seen the sheets of paper from it, I
Right.
can't yet give him the order for next year.
Right.
He knows that, he
No,
knows
it's
that.
gonna turn into anything.
That's what this first 7 kilograms order is for. And if that looks good, then I get back on the phone with the guy and say, okay, we're up and running, next year we need 120 kilograms, or whatever it's gonna be, you know.
So you do expect to need a lot more.
A lot more. This, I know, we were
Volume.
chatting about this with Sawaki-san and Imai-san. What's, you know, how many sheets of paper do you get from a kilogram? People have been asking me on this
Right.
here. How many sheets of paper per kilogram? And I don't know, we don't know. It all depends on the dimensions,
Yeah.
how thick you want it,
Mm.
and also how much he'll be able to get out of here, and how much he has to throw away.
Yeah.
You know, some of the ends are a bit rotten already. You know.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Okay.
Best possible guess is this represents somewhere between a quarter and a third of our annual needs.
This
But-
80 kilograms.
Yes, it's 80 kilograms, but that's only an iffy guess yet. And also, we're growing 150% every year, so the mulberry requirements also will grow 150% every year. These guys are talking about soccer, so I can safely, excuse me, football. So I can safely.
In Japan it's soccer, so.
Yes, it's soccer here in Japan, so.
Acceptable for us. From the US and Canada and living in Japan. It's soccer here.
Where are the Mexicans called? Spanish, I
Football.
guess. Football.
Don't leave me over there. Should I
That's okay,
start
I'm
punching
wired
out?
in, if you any problem, yeah,
Yeah.
so it's up to you. I haven't checked the mail, so I've got no idea what's in there. Oh, the Wi-Fi, so that's what I did yesterday, I spent the whole day, and the building has now been wired, we're ready.
Oh, really?
There's 2 Cat 6A cables running downstairs, one for the register sales counter and one private for me for my carving bench and the
Nice.
streams down there. The 3rd floor now runs, it comes up from the outside,
Okay.
comes up. So that little router in the next room there is directly patched, directly
The main
plugged
does.
to the main router, and you are now directly plugged into that as an access point.
Let's see.
So you're not gonna get 600K upload, but you're gonna get X hundreds, so.
Okay.
But I'm also, right now, I'm plugged into that one as well, the same thing. So you and me are gonna plug in. So don't run a speed test just right now, please, because I'm streaming from the same access point.
Yeah. Are these pictures from Lang Tommy?
What are we looking at?
Sorry, that's weird.
Oh, okay, no, what I did was I went back to the construction photographs from 4 years ago, because I was trying to find out where a particular joint was under the floor. And I couldn't remember, but I knew that I had taken lots of pictures 4 years ago.
Right.
So I brought this up to find out, and I looked at the wood grain,
Yeah.
where's that joint? And I found the same wood grain, pulled up that panel, bingo.
Nice. Wow.
So that's the reason that's open on your machine, I'm sorry. Last night's wires, yesterday's wires, I I took all the tatami up first, all the furniture out of the party room, all the tatami up, then I identified the particular floorboards, get a pry bar, pull up the floorboards.
Oh,
It was a job. I'm in the middle of doing this, and ping pong, I'd forgotten to lock the door, and a couple from Australia came in. We're chatting with them, then 4 guys from Hungary came in. It was just,
oh man. This doesn't slow down, does it?
doesn't stop, so. Sizing day is unrelated topics day. In fact, sizing day is the only day where I can actually follow the stream. They're chatting about this. Last time I was sizing, they started some bizarre conversation. I forget what it was. It was just something strange and unrelated to anything I was doing. It's too bad, because this is the only day when I can actually read this. When I'm carving, I only see one comment in a million. You know. Here we are. What's this? Does Dave ever say if he still plans to ramble video? Yeah. Out of all the, it's. This is the problem with announcing upcoming projects, is that things here cook for a while before they happen. And if I mention that things are cooking, then everybody's like, where is it? So there will be an upcoming video, one of the ramble videos. I've gathered together a bunch of the things, a bunch of the parts and props I need, a bunch of the whatever evidence, whatever you call the things. But given the problem of getting into the first floor right now, anytime I've got spare time, like yesterday, for example, if we hadn't been doing first floor construction, yesterday would have been a perfect day to do that video. But I had to run the internet cables. And today as well, the parties are going to be handled by the staff today, so yeah, I could do a video today. No, I'm going to have to be downstairs. I have to build the coffee table for the party room. It's Aoyama-san and I have split up the last remaining jobs, and we're running now to the final stretch on this construction. So not to make excuses, but yeah, that's my excuse. I'm sorry. There will be another video coming up. Just sit and wait. And one day you'll see your email box saying, video alert. That's all there is to it. I can't promise anything more than that. I'm sorry. Did you leave the door open, Cameron-san?
I did, yeah. Is it for Ray?
Yeah, Ray-chan. So, but have to be careful now. Because the door's open, keep your eye out for the bell, because I'm not downstairs. No?
Yeah.
I can sometimes hear it, but it's not totally reliable. She didn't send me an email, so I don't suspect she's specifically coming early. I don't know. Who's Nick Offerman? Do you know?
I think he's an actor in a show. What's the name of that show? Parks and Recreation. A comedy actor. Someone talking about them?
They say I'm not him.
Oh.
Well, I knew that, but I'm not sure what the reference is. So. Have I ever missed a stream? What do you mean? Wait, I can't. By definition, I can't miss a stream. Streams only happen when I'm here. What's the question?
What does that mean?
Have I ever missed a stream? Wait a minute. That makes no sense. If I don't exist, the world doesn't exist. Right? I think I know what you mean, though. I don't know, I don't remember. Print parties, people do, they usually go home with 2, sometimes 3. Depends on how many people are in the group. A typical group of 3 or 4 people will go through the process twice during a print party. So they will go home with 2 prints. Is the normal way. Sometimes when there's only one person by themselves, if they turn out to be a personable person having fun, and if they're fairly skilled at it, the staff gets hot and interested and they'll run it through them 10 times. But whatever, typical party, people go through the process twice. And they take home everything they make, of course. They take home everything. We stand posing for a graduation picture with one of the prints they made. But everybody takes everything home, of course. I think the streaming schedule, I've missed a couple because of technical problems. Remember we had my video interface broke a couple of months ago, so there was 3 or 4 days where there was no stream. So if that's what you mean, how often have I missed a stream? Then yeah, it happens. No, another question about favorites. Please, I should try and train you guys. Don't ever ask me that. I have no favorites. It's my job as a professional to not have favorites, to not have likes and not have dislikes. You can't do that and make a good product. You have to be neutral with your own preferences. Okay, there's the paper done, front side. 70 sheets? No, what was it? Yeah, 35 cut in half for 70. That was 70 sheets. Doesn't time fly? Let's do the back. It was a 9:01. Boy, we're certainly not going to get to the hanging stage. That took me nearly an hour to do that, right? And I've got now to do it all over again, so... It's a good thing I'm not on party duty this morning. It's Ladies' Days today in the shop, that's right. It's Shiba-san and Audrey-san and Lei-chan. I think, actually. Is that right? Cameron-san?
Usually that's a Wednesday, so I can pull it.
I think Audrey was actually, she's traveling maybe. She might not be here this week, I'm not sure. In fact, actually, am I supposed to be in there?
I'll check right now. Oh no, you're good.
So who's in there?
Looks like Ray, Shiva, and Audrey.
Good.
She was gone last week. She's back.
Okay, good. Yeah, Honte Ladies' Day, ne? Good, I can trust on anything. Good. So I can head downstairs. I've got to finally get going on that coffee table. I've been ignoring it for weeks. And Aoyama-san's getting sort of, Yeah, Tuesday. If you insist, okay? If you push me that far to an answer for a favorite, there you go. You've pushed me. I've cracked. And I admit. No, they've been bugging me about what's your favorite this, what's your favorite this. And that never ends. I get it, but I don't want to get involved with stuff like that. You know, what's my favorite color even? They're into that stuff. Forget it. We don't do favorites here. You know, whatever. I've explained to these guys before. You know, professional has to do a job without... Famously, we talk all the time. The hotel chef that doesn't like strawberries, he has to make a cake, you know.
Yeah.
You can't have favorites. And they never stop asking me favorites. So here it is. What's your favorite day of the week? And there's the answer. Tuesdays. You asked for it. You got it.
That's the day you don't see any of them.
Do tell. This is the paper for Kubota-san for that next Mystique pair.
Ooh.
What is it? It's 9 and 10, right? Now we got to catch up with the back orders for 9, right? Also, that reminds me, I don't know, DB in Britain.
Yep.
Is he into you as well?
Yes,
okay.
he
He
did.
wrote separately to me.
Oh, really?
It's normal, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't tell him?
I did.
Okay.
I think people people didn't read the
Okay,
monthly
okay.
email, I put it into that.
Ah, so because it's the same every month, he doesn't see it.
Right.
Okay, I got you. I didn't reply to him, by the way, so it's up to you. I left it for
Okay,
you.
I'll let them know. But, yeah, let everyone know. We're skipping 9 temporarily, we'll come back to it.
The back side of this is one thing that's quite a bit more difficult than the front side. On the front side, the paper was, quote, dry, unquote. So the water sinks into it, flows into it, and then the paper then starts to slowly expand. So while I've been doing this, stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, stacking up, the paper from the bottom of the stack is trying to expand. But it's not able to because it's part of a stack of paper. So I flipped it over now, and as I put each sheet onto the back here, then releasing it from the stack and flipping it a little as I put it down, it then actually at that point really expands quite a bit. But what happens is if I'm too careless with it, if I don't fluff it up, and if I don't expand it, it's now still tight and it's trying to expand now. Then what we do then is if I do this carelessly, if I press too hard here as I'm moving across, the paper starts to push, 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 but it can't move here because it's stuck down. So it ends up creasing at this point, and we'll get creases along the paper in this area. And I didn't notice it, but last time I did some sizing here, I had been a bit too careless, probably chatting with somebody, I don't know, and I'd put a bit too much pressure in, and half a dozen of the sheets were creased, and when I came to hang them up, at that point I could see it. So whatever, you know. Nani saru mo ki kara ochiru. Is that the way it goes, or is it ki kara nani?
No, I think that's right. Sarumoki Saru. Does anyone else know that one?
I don't know, we'll see if they know.
Kantaro Picture.
We'll see if they know what I said. What did I just say? See if you can catch it. So. Kantaro will get it if anybody does. No. No connection with shogunai. We don't use shogunai here. He's got it. Somebody's got it. And the band called Treadmill 2 has got it. Very good. Is this a Japanese person or somebody living in Japan? I don't know the backgrounds between many of these usernames. Treadmill 2. Shogunai is something. Actually, I said we don't do that here, but I'm a bit misleading because there's an aspect to it that we can use. Shogunai is the Japanese thing. Says whatever, it can't be helped. We don't do it that way. That's not going to happen here. Go away. It ain't going to work. Can't be helped, I guess, is the basic English translation. And the reason I say we don't do that is because it's easy just to give up and say, oh, well, we can't do that, just give up, stop trying. And we don't do that. If I said shogunai about the paper quality, where do we go? If I said shogunai about the wood quality, where do we go? We have to try and push through it, instead of just saying, whatever, it can't be helped. But having said that, there is a time when it really doesn't make any sense. And for pragmatic reasons, when something quite clearly isn't going to happen and isn't possible, then you have to put it aside and then move forward, you know. So I guess I shouldn't just make a blanket condemnation. There's a difference between not giving up because you still think something can be done, and there's a difference between, okay, for pragmatic reasons, getting on with life and putting what didn't work, putting it behind you. So in both of those cases, so for me, one I will do and one I won't do. Oh, Kontar let us down. I didn't say that. He says he wasn't, this Kontar said he wasn't watching actually, he was practicing calligraphy, so somebody else did the translation first. That's your excuse, guy, okay. What are you going to say? Shogunai. Practicing calligraphy, something I should have done all these years. I'd be good at it by now if I'd been doing it for 30 years, but I don't even know how to hold a brush, so. Yes, even Homer nods. Yes, interesting. So, a thing that must have made more sense to the generations before mine. Oh, good morning. You snuck in, did you? How'd you do? Climb up the front balcony or something? What did
I
you?
heard
Huh?
it ring, but then soccer shortly after.
Really?
so-
I didn't hear. I was too busy talking. Come and say hello, just for politeness. Come and say hello to the chat here. We're doing okay today. We don't really need a wingman,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just come and say hello.
Hi.
Put it down a bit so they can see you. It's Ladies' Day today, right? You and Shiba-san and Audrey.
Yes.
So, and the parties are light. I think. What is it?
10.
A one man and a so.
2:30.
Are these guys? Do you know? Did you check the schedule?
Oh yeah.
They're both guys, are they?
I don't know about that
No,
yet.
so. I mean, one guy coming in for a party, one guy with 3 ladies helping him. I mean, my God, we should charge triple for that one. So somebody's getting lucky today. It's quite a deck of sizing today. It's for Kubota-san's paper and for Kanaisa.
Dosa.
It's still, oh, you've never seen it before? Ah, so. No, this is the sizing, the dosa. So I've done the front side already, and now I've flipped it over and I'm doing the back side. Have a look at the glue, you can see that. It's Nikawa glue in there. It does, no, wait, if you do that, they'll all have the wrong impression. It doesn't stink. It's just,
Sorry.
no, really. It's just a light
I
gluey
wasn't
smell.
expecting that.
What did you think it was?
I thought it was
Miso
like,
soup?
No, it was like, I thought it was like some water, so I just smelled it.
No, I said it's glue, I'm sorry. But it doesn't stink, it's just got a gentle glue
Yeah,
smell.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but then when I was not expecting
Okay,
I
fair
was
enough.
scared.
I didn't expect you to drink it or something. It's what is it? It's Nikawa glue, it's this stuff, if you've never seen it before. It's this. This is the stuff, it's a mix of
Ah.
what it's made of, actually, I guess it's animal collagen. So it's like, it's cow bones and horse hide and stuff like that. You know, the stuff left over after animals have died and been rendered. And the paper by itself, if we just try and print on washi paper without doing this, the paper is just too soft. You know how paper is made, it's this mat of fibers that stick together. But it's just fibers by themselves. So if we get the raw washi paper, try to print on it, the fibers just come apart during
So
the
you
printing
have to
process.
glue it.
So this glue helps give it, one of the things the glue does is it gives it strength to survive the actual printing process.
Mhm.
And the other thing it does is inside the mix here, there's what's called in Japanese myoban. In English, that's alum. And I don't actually know what it is. It's just some kind of chemical compound of something or other. It comes to us in this white form. And if you don't put myoban in, then when you're trying to print on the finished paper, the colors blur out into the different areas. But if you've got just the right amount of myoban in there, then the color doesn't, it stays within the lines and doesn't blur out. So it's a mix that was developed over many years. It's not just printmakers, people that are doing Nihonga painting. If they're painting on a paper background or something, they have to prepare first with the same kind of size before they can start painting. And in their case, there's no abrasion from a baron or anything, but it's that, what do you call it, nijimu, the blurring of the pigments that we want to try and avoid. And it's a difficult job. I know I've got to get the temperature right, the right amount of Nikawa. If there's too much in here, then it's difficult to print. If there's not enough, the paper's too weak. And it all depends on the humidity in the air and the temperature. In winter, as things are colder, we need to put less glue in the mix because the paper has more of an inherent strength. Also, when it's cold in the room, it's strong. But as we go into summer, the paper gets softer and weaker, and I have to put more glue into the mix. And I myself, how did I learn all these things? It's trial and error. Just from trying again and again and again and trying and failing and trying to figure out how to do it. There's a little bit of, there's some sort of recipes left over from people who used to do it, but there's no teaching or training. The one guy who's doing it, Misawa-san, he and I had a big fight a few years ago, so he won't show me anything. So. And then once I've done this, you can see those strings behind Cameron in the room where he is. There's a bunch of strings on the ceiling. I'll be hanging it up there. So. Yeah, so. And in fact, actually, given the situation today, the 10 o'clock party is, if Audrey and what's her name? Shiba-san are there, then actually perhaps you can help me hang this stuff because it's much easier with 2 people. So. Did you watch the soccer game last night?
No.
No, none of your family are football fans or soccer
No.
fans?
None of my families are not into any sports watching things. But then I heard that we won against Colombia, was it?
Colombia,
Yeah.
very strong team. So I found out, I was doing my work in my room there last night, I had the windows open, and I had forgotten that there was a game tonight. About 9:05, there's this gigantic earthquake sound from outside. Every bar, of course, is full of people watching the game,
Yeah.
and my windows were open at just exactly 9:05. It's this, you know the kind of sound it makes. And I thought, I didn't know it at first. It took me about 10 minutes to realize, oh, I know what it is. It's the game, So then I went to the website and looked it up. And I thought, it was perfect for a soccer side. The bars were all just totally packed. So, boy, the bar owners must be so happy. The other thing about Japan too that's different from other countries where some of these people might be watching is Japan won that game. It was really sort of unexpected. They had basically expected to sort of not be destroyed. Their pride was to sort of not be 10-0 or something like that. If it could have been 2-0 against them, they sort of would have felt it was okay. And actually they won. And if you think about some other countries, the police now have a real problem because people come out of the bars and they start trashing stuff. They're celebrating, they smash windows, they do all that sort of stuff. And here in Japan, there was no broken windows last night, nothing at all. People would finish their drinks, go home and be really happy about it. But nobody's trashing anything, That's one of the things I really like about this country. People are enthusiastic, they're emotional, they'll do that, but they won't trash anything. Am I speaking out of turn, Cameron? Do you think, in the newspaper this morning, there was broken windows here and there and stuff like that?
I'd be absolutely shocked.
If you heard such a thing, yeah. It's just not part of the culture. People get drunk here, people are rowdy here, they're human beings the same as anywhere. What if they'd lost? Well, no, everybody expected to lose.
Next time.
So, everybody expected to lose. They'd go home quietly, say, whatever. I mean, if they were actually to win, just to play the fantasy game for a minute, suppose they went all the way and won this thing. Would there then be trashing of anything?
I don't understand how breaking stuff is
Yeah.
celebratory.
Yeah. Well, that's why you and me are the kind of people who like living in Japan, because we absorb enough of the same way of thinking.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person who broke windows and trashed stuff, you wouldn't be the kind of person sitting here in a Japanese office. No, really, without being sarcastic.
No, I think
Totally.
that's absolutely true.
Rachel, you've been in Britain. I think from what I understand, there's a lot of that sort of thing that does go on in Britain. After a soccer game or something, people might go down the main street or something, the high street, breaking windows and stuff. No, you haven't seen that, yeah.
Because I was in my boarding house.
Yeah, okay, you weren't out there, yeah.
Yeah. Then one thing I got shocked or surprised is that how they have a rubbish bin everywhere, and I thought it was amazing. We don't have any rubbish bin around here.
Not these days. In fact, it's your age that's making you say that. It's because of the bombing problem that happened.
Yeah.
So there's no garbage cans around.
I
JR
heard
switched.
about that
Yeah.
one.
So that was a specific reaction to a specific problem, And garbage cans are back now in train stations, so they got the plastic front. I don't know if that makes any difference, but they're all plastic fronted garbage cans.
Yeah.
The other thing that a bit shocked me last night, there was I don't know if we should perhaps talk about this on the stream or whatever, there was news from England a few days ago. There was some sort of strange accident at a train station. 3 people were killed at a train station in Britain. It was a junction station. And that's all the news that came out the first day, was that 3 people had died. And the police were saying, don't speculate, we don't know what it is. It turned out that what they were doing was they were writing graffiti. They were spraying graffiti. On an unscheduled train during the night, some kind of maintenance train, came along and killed the 3 guys. So the police picked it up in the morning, there's spray cans around, there's partly finished work, and there's these 3 guys. And what happened next surprised me. It became, the front of that station became the shrine where people came to say, I'm sorry and I love you and all that stuff. When somebody dies after a car accident or whatever, sometimes that place becomes. And there was hundreds and hundreds of people coming because they were sad about these graffiti artists, and they started spraying hearts and I love you and RIP all over the front of the train station. And I'm like, those guys were graffiti artists vandalizing things. Nobody would say that should be punished by death. You know, getting killed is too much punishment, but they took a risk and they paid the price. But and some guy from the train, he was a board of directors or something in the train company, said, "Man, too bad. You know, they got what they deserved, whatever." And he's now being castigated, and they're trying to fire him because of what he said. You know, that I really don't get. I'm an old-fashioned guy, and to me, those guys took a real strong risk, and I don't feel too sad about it. I really hate that. I'm sorry. If that, I would do anything to help stop that from coming to Japan. You know. There was a bit of graffiti thing happened here a few months ago. Some kids went into a train parking lot at night and graffitied up a train. You know. And society here is really, really strongly against that. I don't know. You're bicultural. Do you think it's okay to draw stuff on trains? What do you? I don't know. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but you know, whatever.
Because there is some artist that who works as like spraying on the wall.
Mm.
And
But the fact that you use the word artist, I would never use that word. I would say a vandal. There's a vandal who sprays
Yeah.
stuff on the wall, but you said he's an artist. So I think we have a different way of thinking about this. So,
because my school taught me about the spraying artist. Said, what was that? I can't remember his name. But my school told me he was an artist, not vandalizing.
But
Yeah.
suppose he drew one night stuff all over the front of your school. Would they still call him an artist?
No, definitely
Or suppose
not.
one of the students who was there at the school sprayed all the walls.
Sometimes when I'm walking walking streets and all that, if I see spraying
You should be here so people can at least hear.
sprayed like letter or anything on the wall, I don't feel like, wow, this is amazing, just like like that. But I don't know, I never actually thought about it.
Yeah.
So,
This incident in Britain the last few days has really polarized the community, you know.
yeah.
There's people who are calling these men wonderful men who unfortunately lost their lives and how good a man he was and all that kind of stuff. And there's people like me who are ethically neutral, but those guys were vandals. It's, you know, my point. So whatever. Is the word you're trying to think of Banksy? Is that
Banksy,
But
yes.
they're asking you, so
Yes.
they can remember better than you. They know what you're trying to say before you try and say it. You know, we are in the process at the moment now of designing and getting ready for painting our own shutter downstairs, you know. And it's taking a lot of effort. It's going to be an expensive job. We're going to try and make a beautiful shutter that helps our community look more beautiful, looks more clean, and looks more like a presentable place to be. And if somebody came along to our brand new shutter and sprayed crap all over it, I would just want to shoot the guy, you know. I mean, oh, yeah, I'm not going to shoot him, but you know what I mean. I would feel extremely as hostile as I could possibly feel hostile. And if it turned out that the police grabbed him, I would go to court and testify against him. Please put this boy in jail to stop this kind of behavior, you know. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm speaking as an old reactionary fart, you know. I'm not a young artistic kind of person, you know. Whatever. There's a certain level of social behavior that each society decides is acceptable or not. And Japan has made its collective decision on we won't do that. And in Britain, the collective decision is that whatever some amount of that is okay, I guess. Yeah. So it's not a question of right or wrong. It's a question of what each society decides to define as being normally acceptable behavior. You know. And I've chosen to live here partly because the Japanese ethic fits my own ethic, of course. You know, so. I suppose I haven't followed the words going back and forth, but I suppose there's, you know, people on both sides of this here. I don't know, no idea. Has it gone bad there? I can't tell. I shouldn't have brought that up, I guess, whatever. You bring up a socially, you know, complex topic, and of course there's going to be people on both sides of it, and so much for your chat will decay, I guess, because of that, so can't be helped. I shouldn't have started. Rachel, talk about something else.
What are you going to paint the shutter with? The shutter?
It's top secret. Have you seen the designs? Have you seen the
Yeah.
designs?
Yeah.
We want it. We're you know. Oh, my mother's here, is it? Change the chat, please. Okay, Mom, take over. Start coming in all caps here. That's my mother, by the way. The one you see is Bet Bull here. This is my mother here. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry.
No, the shutter design, we had a design, or we have a design that I'm sort of thinking of in my mind, but there's a few different ways to create it in one idea is, for example, to do it in Illustrator and do Illustrator's shapes and colors that look like this particular object I want. Another way of doing this is to go out and actually photograph the object itself and use Photoshop to make something that is then pasted on your shutter. And what I want is an imaginary thing that doesn't exist, but it's based on a thing that does exist. So at the moment what we're doing, and one of the gentlemen in this chat, Mokuhankan, is working with us on this. We've taken some photographs of an actual real object, and he's trying to edit the photographs in a way that it says the message that we want to say. So rather than just illustrating it, we want to have it look like a real photograph. What? That thing really exists? Where is it? I want to go and see it, you know.
Ah.
But that involves extensive Photoshop work. You know. Is that a question for you coming in here?
Have you grown up making art?
She hasn't grown up yet, but I think we know what it means.
Oh, you mean like learning art?
Let me get through here.
Like
Okay?
that.
So.
Have you grown up with making art? What does that mean?
No, okay, grown up doesn't mean autonomy now. During the years you've been alive, as you've grown bit by bit, as you've grown, have you been involved in making art and pictures? Do you enjoy it? Is it part of your life?
Yeah. Funny thing is, like, before I get into elementary school, I had exam and enrolling exam, and I had class before, like, for the exam, and learning how to draw faces, and I did learn. And then after I got into elementary school, I still had like art classes and DT, design and technology. No, not DT. But yeah, art.
Okay, but I mean, everybody does sort of art in school. That's part of the curriculum. But do you enjoy it? Do you like it? Do you do it? Do you consider yourself?
Sometimes my teacher got kind of angry because I was drawing what I want to draw, and they thought it was too unique or something like that.
You're Picasso. I mean, that's the kind of thing
no.
that Picasso wouldn't draw, but the teacher tells him to draw. He's going to draw something unique. This sounds like a good story. Keep telling me more. Tell me more.
It's not like that. It's just like it's just some teachers told me how I draw nose is not how it's supposed to be, or it's not how it looks like.
Well, that's to me sounds like the same thing, though, right?
So I got kind of like, no, this is not right way. So I had to draw again and all that. But other than that, I did enjoy art.
Yeah, but that's an interesting question. And should people who think about themselves as artists, should they have a classical, traditional training first, drawing noses in the normal way, and then on top of that training be free, or should they from the beginning be free and not get classical training? It's a big, big question, and nobody can really, there's no specific answer to all that.
Yeah.
It's very common now that if you went to art school in a previous generation, you got classically trained first, then you were expected to develop a creative voice. And now the pendulum very clearly is the other way around. People are expected to be very creative from the beginning before they've even got base techniques learned, which from my point of view leaves young people very much sort of at loose because they don't have the vocabulary to say, even if they've got the ideas that they want to say. So it's interesting that you talk about that same thing. Yeah. So you're talking about Picasso. So apparently he was trained first. He could actually draw, things first. And then he had the creative, on top of that, he's creatively burst out of that and did different things. I don't know his viewpoint on it. If you had asked him in an interview as an adult, is it necessary for young art students to all be trained classically first? I don't know what his answer was, Oh! Talk about Picasso, are they?
I think they're talking about.
Dave Twitch fails. I dropped the brush.
Yeah.
This is going to become a moment for the ages now. God, they clip these moments and it's like a blooper reel. Somebody's making a blooper reel, you know. When I hear that, there's two things in mind when I see that people are eagerly waiting for me to fail. Part of it is that it's no, don't be sorry. Part of it, of course, what are they doing? They're going to collect all my mistakes and collect them and make me look like an idiot. But the opposite way of that is that I so seldom screw up. And these people have such high respect for my skills that it's a real special event when I screw up. So in that sense, I'm very, wow, look at me, you know. So both things are true. If my mistakes are that rare and that special, then they must be, you know, pretty rare. So in that sense, it's okay. You know. Good attitude. So, you know. At least that's my story and I'm sticking with it.
I'm gonna go and get ready.
Okay, yeah, thanks then, Rachel. Okay, thanks. Say, sign off to these guys or whatever, you know. Tell them where you're going.
Oh, I'm going to.
You're going to work?
Ready,
Good.
yes.
I'll go downstairs.
To work.
Thanks, Rachel.
Thank you.
She's got to join the crew downstairs to get ready for the parties. The other thing about those bloopers and stuff, you know, you can't hide this stuff. Human beings and human life and human work, it's good and it's bad and it's all mixed together. We've talked about this before. One of the things, for whatever reason, one of the things about my character is I sort of hate pretentiousness. I'm probably just as pretentious as the next guy, but in a way that I can't see. But I hate to feel that I'm being pretentious. So I don't want to hide the mistakes. It's okay. Just do what you're doing. Do it openly, happily, honestly, and people will go with you. But in its own way, that's just as pretentious, I don't know. So when you see pros make mistakes, they might make it look, you might feel like, yeah, I can actually do that, you know. You can still get away with doing that, it's all right, you know, I don't know. I mean, my mistake, I just dropped the brush, it's not going to hurt anybody. For example, there's other kinds of mistakes. You know, for example, maybe somebody in the building department, you know, made a mistake and sent the wrong bill to the wrong person or something like that. Then it's a total, I don't think you can hear me, it's okay. He pretended not to hear me, it's okay. How are people in Japan supporting their national team? Do they even notice? You got to be kidding, this country is nuts about this. I don't have the numbers on my hand, but if you looked it up, I'm sure you'd find that last night's TV broadcast was probably a new record for the number of people watching the same thing. You know? There's a huge amount of pride here in Japan about that. You know, Japan is new to the world of football and soccer. Japan has its own sports, the sumo and judo, which other people from other countries have now become very good at it. Japan took on baseball 100 years ago, and they've become, in their own world, good at it. And soccer was something that wasn't really big here until, what is it, about 20 years ago, Cameron?
That would be my guess.
It was after I came here, so it would have been in the 90s or so soccer started. You know. So it's quite a matter of national pride, I think, for a country that didn't do that thing at all. One, and so has no school children doing it in the alleys base of it. It has only a relatively new league, and people of relatively short stature, with all those strikes against it, to be playing at the level they're doing. It's a matter of extreme national pride that they've been able to come that far and do it. And nobody thinks they're going to win this thing. Super-san, good morning.
Oh,
Got your paper, right?
hi.
Come say hello. Just say hello here.
Ah, so good.
We're here today, so. So, This is Subi-san in today.
おはようござい
Subi-san
ま
with the
す
new haircut. New haircut. It's so.
切りました
You're not going to hear the end of that for a while.
みんなすごい。
何紙何ワシ
あ、これビニール使うやつちょっと持ってきましたビニール
使うやつ。
はい使うちょっとおはようございます
Did I do that sheet? No. Is it true that sumo wrestlers are highly respected and live like kings in Japan? I don't think that's the case anymore. What do you think, Cameron-san?
Probably within their sphere, they're well respected, but it's not.
It's taken a
They walk
beating.
down the streets. Not a bunch of people are gonna. Oh, hey, that's whatever.
It's difficult to answer that one. I know in the years I've been here in Japan, it's changed very much. There have been scandals in the sport, there have been match fixings in the sport, there have been incidents of older guys basically almost killing younger guys in the name of discipline and stuff. It's taken a hammering. It's no longer, they no longer have a free pass to behave in some medieval way. And so that world is in the middle of trying to change from a medieval, that's the word, I think, a medieval or feudal way of doing things into a modern society. And as a result, there's many, many changes, and a lot of people have abandoned them. And after this match fixing, what was it, 2 years ago, NHK cut them. They cut broadcasting tournaments, right?
Really?
Yeah, for half a year, I think it was. So sumo is definitely no longer the untouchable, we can't look at the bad things that it was some years ago. You know.
Right.
But it's still a big deal here, absolutely, it's still a big deal. Another thing Japan is wrestling with in the sumo world is that not too many young Japanese boys are signing up for it, and a great number of foreigners are signing up for it. What's the ratio now? I mean, most of the yokozuna are all foreigners? I can't. Are there any Japanese
a lot of
yokozuna?
Hawaiians, Mongolians.
Mongolians in Bogota or something, yeah. So,
Yeah.
and that's another thing Japan is wrestling with. It's sort of, in a sense, the same thing I'm doing here. Foreigners have come in, and it isn't that we've pushed out the Japanese, go away, wrestling with it. Yeah, hi. It's that as things are changing, you find a situation where young Japanese didn't want to do it, partly because of the brutal thing that was there. And yet you'll find foreigners who are going to come in, and they're going to almost, I don't know, what's the word? Give it to me. No, I mean, the reason many young Japanese boys don't want to do it is because they know how brutal it is. I mean, they don't want to go there. No thanks.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. But to a foreigner coming in, the more brutal it is, the more medieval it is, the more it's their chance to show, I can take that as much as any future Japanese does. I may be misreading this, but I think, pour it on, I'm going to show you I'm good enough, I'm man enough to do this. Whereas the young Japanese boy says, what are you doing to me? I'm out of here. You know, He doesn't have to prove anything.
Right.
But the foreigner has to prove something. And that might be overlapping a little bit into our business. Why are Mokuhankan's prints so good? No, really, I don't know. Put me on the couch, analyze me, because I have to prove that I'm as good as these guys or better. I don't know. Is there a doctor in the house? Do I need psychoanalyzing? I don't know. My own answer is that it's much simpler than that. I'm just a stubborn guy who wants to do this. I think it's simpler. But I don't know. You can't analyze yourself by definition. You can't analyze your own motives. You know? Yeah, I can't overthink my position here. It's a question of being single-minded, being stubborn. It's nothing to do with being wonderfully skilled and I don't know. Most of it is a combination of being single-minded and stubborn, that's all. I need to check that. It's a party. The girls downstairs are cool with this, I think. Oh, it is. It's a party for today. For 2:30. Ah, one. They've got 3 parties with 1 person in each session today. That almost never happens. I'm laughing. It's okay. They can handle it. They can handle it.
Really good.
They may not have turned the computer on downstairs. Can you just maybe turn it on for them or let them know?
Yeah.
There was a reservation just now. One person for the. Just let me check again. One person for the 2:30. Oh, Jay, maybe 102 or maybe 111. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, let them know. Thank you. Good morning, Aoyama-san. Hello, hello.えそう、どうぞ中。ストリームの皆さんが、これ何ですかとか。
そうなんだ。
絵の具
僕たちが見てもパッと見てもわからない。下の人はわかる
ちょっと心配は臭いと言いますが、花粉本当に草の匂い、
粉がね。
花粉の弱い人、
はい
影響あるか。
そうかもね。だいぶ匂いますね。
まあ多分フレッシュですから、そう。
落ち着くから。でもまた隙間開けたりしないといけ
Oh,
ない
hey,
ね。
Aoyama-san, here. Good morning, Mr. Blue Mountain.
おはようございます。
Blue Mountain, Green Mountain かな？
そうなの？
そう、青、blue、green どっちかな？青。
漢字だと青だね。
そう、でも緑がいっぱいでしょ？その意味でしょ？
ああ、そうだね。青い山っていう
そう
かね。本当の色は緑ですね。
I think this character ao, which means blue, in this case green would probably be a better translation, you know. No, we don't ask the party guests to move around. They reserve, that's what they want, we'll serve it. We open the door for certain service. You can't tell a customer, no, it's not convenient for us. We don't do that. We'll just do it. We'll do the parties. 今回のドース一番楽。錦版の。そうそう、ハケのベストハケ。一番楽です。ストレスがない。Okay, here we go. これ一番裏やった時にこれウェットですから力入れすぎとコーンになりますね。
続いちゃうんですよね。
いつも私チェックチェックチェックチェック OK ちょっと多いです。50枚ぐらいまではあまり問題ないですが、今日70枚で
途中で
分けた方がいいかな。
クリアファイル1枚引くだけでも違うかもしれないですね。
かな。そう。
それから
もう一つの問題はこうになりますね。枚数がだんだん増えると、ここからじゃなくてこの上から入れて合うわけですね。三沢さんが本当に500枚まとめてやったんですよ。いろんなノウハウとか。
本当かね。
A few days ago on the stream, you talked about having print party people who had come 1, 2, even 3 times. Today we have a 4th.
What? Oh no, it's Wednesday. It's our lawyer friend Evan.
Yep.
He knows. It's not ready.
Okay, he knows.
He
it's
knows.
not
He knows
ready.
exactly what's. He knows exactly what's happening.
Okay.
So he's here to play. He likes the girls.
Okay.
I gotta be careful what I say on the stream. There's a background story.
Okay.
He knows exactly what's going on. Was that
So-
him just now that reserved?
No, that was someone else. But Audrey said, which one should we give him? He
No,
wanted me to ask
no.
you. Just do the normal.
Well, let's see. It depends. If he's by himself,
Yeah.
then we've got some extra blocks under the counter we can play with. Because basically he just wants to spend time with the ladies and enjoy and do this.
Okay.
So it's not a real, quote, official print party.
Okay.
If somebody else is there, we got to do a normal party.
Do normal. Okay, I'll see if it's a 1 person and 2 person. I'll see which one.
And what it is a young man who's got some classes nearby here on Wednesdays, and he's just come into the habit recently of stopping by and spending time here.
Yeah.
So he's not actually doing a print party for the, traditional reasons. He just wants to hang out here for a while and do that. And when he was here a couple of weeks ago, he skipped last week because Aubrey wasn't here.
Got it.
He's back this week, so.
He is with somebody.
No, then that's it, then he'll know about it, he just has to, yep. What, is he in the 2:30 session?
Yes, and
Yeah.
so is the person who signed up 5 minutes ago.
Okay, well then, tell the girls what's happening, that Evan, it can't be playtime, he'll have to,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mokuhankan dating house. Now, we have to be careful on it. There's been a couple of incidents over the years. In fact, there was one just a couple of weeks ago. A guy came in, bought a couple of prints, chatted with the girls, left. No problem at all, whatever. I was doing a print party later. He came back in. One of the girls was in the shop, and he pulled out a print, took it to her, and then before he did the register job, he asked her, "Are you free tonight? Can I see you after work?" And she said, no, it's up to her. We don't have a house rule on this. She, in her own right, she would have been free to say yes or no in her own business. We don't make rules for our girls this way. But she didn't want to do this, so she just said no. So he took the print, put it back in the shop, put it back in the shelf, and left. Bang. So we do, whatever, because we have girls working here, ladies working here. There is a concern. Then this one here that's happening right now, we've got the same person booking on the same day a few times in a row. So when the booking came in for the third time, I took the girls, I went to all of them and asked them, "Okay, ladies, what's happening? Can you give me a bit of feedback? How was this guy behaving last week? Are we moving into stalking territory here?" Because if that sort of thing starts to happen, then I have to jump in and try and do what I can to. I can't protect the women myself, but I have to make sure that our organization here is supportive of making sure they're safe. Whatever word you want to use here. And both of the girls involved said, "No, don't sweat. He's a nice guy. He's cool. He obviously likes spending time with us," but they didn't feel any threat whatsoever. So they said, "No problem. Go ahead." And he's now back again today. And interesting, he skipped last week when one of them was off, so it's sort of becoming a little bit clear what the thought is here. But it's okay. It's good. We're not running a dating service here, but as long as things don't go into the bad side. As far as the timing on the stream, I'm just going to keep going. I know you can go home, you can go to bed. It's up to you. This is not an official. I'm just going to keep going here. I've got about 20 more sheets here. And then I'll turn the stream off, because then the paper has to sit for half an hour, then I'll hang it. So the hanging part will not be part of our stream today. But I'm just simply I just might as well leave it on. So, wow, that's horrible. What's this? Oh, the guy who wanted to date. Whatever. I know he didn't do anything evil. He just asked the lady for a date, and they said no. So he left. That's all. That's the way the world works. And actually, at the end of that day, when she did leave, I went outside with her just to sort of have a look around. And I can't. What can I say? I can't defend her, but we just wanted to make sure that he wasn't sort of sitting out there waiting, or wasn't standing by to follow her home, that sort of thing. And she herself told me, said, "Dave, don't sweat it. I can take care of myself. I'm okay." And she appreciated the fact that we were thinking about being careful about the girls. But, after that incident, I made it clear to her and the other girls, we talked about it as a group, if a customer ever makes implication that, "Gee, I will buy this print if you do such and such," of course, just laugh, just nothing. Nothing. We don't, that's not how any sensible organization would operate, of course, you know. Whether that was an implicit or implied or stated, you know, I will buy this print if you go for a date, of course, just tell them, shut this down, ask the guy to leave, you know. Yeah, the print, like you said, the print was an excuse, that's fine. And once the story had changed, they didn't really want the print, that's fine. So I'm not upset or angry about this, you know. And she told me too, she said, Dave, don't sweat it. She's used to this all the time. As a single woman in the society, she gets asked or not asked, and I think without wanting to tell too many tales, I think when we were chatting about this later, she says, I wish I got asked a bit more often or something like this, whatever, I don't know. And yeah, at some point, will we need security here? I don't know, you know, at the stage and structure and size we are right now, there's no question of needing security, especially considering the society that we're in. But perhaps at some point, if we grow larger and larger and larger, perhaps we need a security person on grounds all the time. I don't know. We're in a very safe area. There's a police box just down the street, about 50 yards away. There's a police box. And the staff does have a general sort of routine we've talked about. If there's ever a robbery here, if people come in and stuff, you know. I don't want to talk about it in detail, but the basic rules, of course, the same as any common sense rule. When there's a person misbehaving or if there's a robbery, just follow their instructions. Give them the money, don't resist, you know, whether there's a knife or a gun or whatever involved, it doesn't matter. No staff plays hero, never. Just do what they want, and as soon as possible, get out of the building. And if you're closer to the door than the attacker, just get out of the building, abandon the place. Don't worry about the cash box, don't worry about the prints. Your own personal safety is the only thing that they're supposed to be concerned about. And that's it's in our manual, our rules, of course. Nobody plays heroes. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't talked about this, there's a bunch of new staff here that we haven't gone over this with, so I should perhaps bring it up again. Now I've got to be careful with the last few of you. Too much here. Look, let me explain. Let me try and do it first. We're landing here. I've got to pull off early. What we've been doing is I've just been running across the stack, straight off, straight off, straight off, straight off. But this paper has selvage. There's selvage, mimi in Japanese at the end. And that part is always a bit thicker than the part in the middle. So what's happening now, because we have 70 or so sheets here, this paper is sort of coming up at the ends now. And I can land on it. It's a bit of an angle like an aircraft carrier landing on it. But what I've been doing, I was a bit careless with a couple. I ran straight off the edge. And the brush bangs into that edge and dumps too much liquid. So there's a bit too much size there on a few of the recent sheets. So I've got to try and land carefully and also take off carefully. Okay, nearly finished here. 4 or 5 more sheets, and then we're going to shut this down. Oh, the orders there for the past couple of days, Cameron said. I didn't really see, you know. New subscriptions, orders and stuff? Or
Subscriptions this time, Monday, there were like 5 or 6, I think.
over the weekend?
Yeah. But quite a few orders. I just had the volume down so that you
Okay,
could hear
right.
things throughout the whole street.
Great Wave and stuff. The last batch, how many have we got left from the last batch
just
now?
a few left. So I'm going to contact,
So it's still not open online, of course. No.
Ray. We still have a waiting list.
Right,
But
okay.
only a couple left. I'm just giving several days between
Yeah.
mail batches.
Yeah.
Some people don't check their email every day.
What happened to that lady the other day? She ordered 3 Cinema album subscriptions months ago, didn't get the spam thing, and then wrote back. Has there been a response from her after
No
that?
response yet.
Still.
I wrote that too. Yeah.
Shit, I don't know what the heck. Have you written through the Pittsburgh mail server?
No, I'll give that a shot.
Please, please.
Okay.
Tell her, you know, we're trying to get a hold of her. We're not ignoring her. It could be a he. The name is Pat, so I don't know if it's a he or a she. I don't know. Okay, almost done here, guys. 2 sheets left, and then we're going to be out of here. Got a long stream today. The same thing, endless, endless, endless. The same thing. That's my job, you know. This is a nice deck of paper. A few $100s worth of paper here, you know. What is this stuff? I cut them in half. They're $8.80 per sheet, I think. $9 per sheet. I had 35 sheets here. Okay, here we go. Here's the last one. Bingo. All right. Brush goes into the hot water side. This side of the tub is hot water. This is hot size. The size will now drop to 30 degrees. And I'll be keeping this overnight. I'll put it in a bottle here and I'll put it in the fridge because I'm going to probably be back here tomorrow night. Not tomorrow's stream, but tomorrow night, I think, doing more sizing. This paper now rests for about a half an hour, I think. Okay, gang, that's it. Thank you for being attentive today here. I don't know what happened in the stream partway along here, in the chat partway along. Maybe I brought up a bad topic. Sorry for that. My apologies. Okay, I'm out of here. Oh, what I should do, let me show you that stuff upstairs. Let me turn the camera here. We were talking about the mulberry fiber that we're now stocking here. Before I shut it off, let me show it to you. This is the back room, the 3rd floor of Mokuhankan. I'm going to move the camera a little bit. You can now see way down. That's out there. Let me zoom up. There's Cameron. He's in the 2nd room, the 2nd middle room of the 3rd floor. Way up the front there, you can see Sukusan's backside. Oops. They can see Sukusan. That's her back there. She's in the printing room way at the front of the building. Then you can see out the building outside. So we're looking up the length of the Mokuhankan building here. From the printer's room through the 2nd room, which hasn't been renovated at all, now into the back room here. And on the left of this, that's where the stairwell goes down. That's our paper stock, the in-use paper stock. And there's the bathroom that we built up on the 3rd floor. Anyway, up above that now is our new storage facility for mulberry fiber. And what I just put some frames. And what you're seeing is 73 kilograms 73 kilograms of Kozo paper mulberry fiber harvested in November and December of last year, processed in January, February, March, and now sent to us for storage. And we don't know what we're going to do for the next year, because when new stuff comes in next spring, this stuff will have to go out first. So we're going to have to devise some kind of a first in, first out system. Don't quite know how we're going to do that. We'll sort it out when we get there. Okay, here we are. There's our slicing station. weed. No way, we don't do that here. Okay guys, thanks so much. Signing off. First step is, off goes this camera. Click. And now we have a hot mic situation, but I'm going to stop streaming. Thanks so much. See you next time tomorrow. I don't have any idea what I'll be doing. Downstairs, carving bench. I don't know. We'll see. We'll work it out for tomorrow.